What's up, guys? This is the workstation right here where I get to work, get to doing what I do. Got a little light set up. People sometimes wonder how this all works. I got a little setup here, and look at this. This is an old magazine here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Transformation, personal transformation, trust in God, but tie your camel to the hitch. You know, this is so cool. This is something from a friend of mine named John Thomas. This is the station, and I just want to show you. Of course, I got some other lights and things behind here, but most likely there's a timer running here, and the reason why we do timers is because it gives times for people to come in and get ready on these live events, these live shows. And so what I want you to do right now, if you are tapped in, tuned in, go ahead and like this post. Begin to comment and talk to people. Say where you're from. Also say things, you know, maybe while you're there, anything. Just this is a community. This is not just about me. And it's not just about what I present or bring. I get the discussion started. I also will possibly just bring some really interesting things and the gifts that I have been given. So, like, share, comment. The show will begin. Whatever this time says, it should be right here. I'm going to put it right there. Yeah, I'm the editor, so I'll put it right there. Great. So this time, this clock, let's see. Yeah, this clock right here should be letting you know that we're about to get started. And you'll see my little intro. You'll see my little intro, and then I'll get started and try to stay on task. Let's go! Get excited, like and share. Hey, what's up? What's up? I got Instagram here on the other side. I'm doing this a little different. I really like when I can actually communicate and see the folks in Instagram as I'm doing YouTube and Facebook. Hey, what's up, guys? What's up? It's so good to have you this evening. Let me see what you guys got going on here. Woo! Haven't seen who's in the room. We have on Facebook. Yes, Mr. Jet. We got some people. Hey, it is so good to see you. Oh, shout out where you're from. If you're tapping in, we got Florida in the room. All right. We got Florida in the room. Yes, it's so good to see your faces, Miss Dana. Hello, sir. Mr. Ruben. Ooh, we love some Ruben. All right. For y'all on Instagram here, I gotta show them who you guys are over here so they can see on this screen here. We got hello. Ooh, South Carolina in the room. What? I think Miss Carolyn. I could have sworn that Ruben just said he was in the same space. Yes, we love some jazz. Miss Marie, good conversation with you today, all the way from Nashville, Tennessee. Christopher, how you doing? Michigan in the room. See if Miss Dolores pops in. She's from Detroit. We got some Detroit natives. Tulsa, Oklahoma. Woo-hoo! Miss Peggy, I love you. You so awesome. Yes. Hey. Looking fabulous like always. This is beautiful. You guys are not going to want to miss this. Please 100% like and share this post. What we're going to do this evening is we're going to cover some things and we're going to talk about some things. We got Florida over here on Instagram, guys. Yes. You know, Instagram is so interesting because Instagram always have really unique titles and names. Stick with me. If you're on Instagram, people can jump off of Instagram so quickly in terms of when we get this going. And my thing is, like, we have some things that are going to be amazing. We're going to talk about belief. We're going to talk about what's next. I've had a lot of conversations with individual people that we come into a space, you know, that it's like we get stuck. We get into a space where we can't move forward. Awesome. There's one name right there, and she is in Tulsa, Oklahoma, but all the way from California, been in Oklahoma here for 5 years. I'm going to bring her up. She's amazing. Miss Rose is such an amazing person. You guys, just real quick, we're going to get into this. And what I want you to do, all the community, because one of the things that I want to emphasize 100% is community. And the thing is you're going to hear some about her story. And the thing is I want all you guys, Miss Marie, Christopher, all you guys that's been with me for a while, Ruben, Rose she's here, but she, as she would say, escaped the Mormon religion or cult, as some of us would say. And so she's in this community that we are all part of this collective consciousness, this awareness where we could be spiritual and we can learn and grow. She's one person that has inspired this talk. But there's been numerous of different conversations that I've had that really, really let me know that we need to have these conversations. So, and the thing is when I talked to her this, when was it? Earlier this week, I think it was Sunday when I talked to her this Sunday. I had a lot of amazing experience last week. I talked to Miss Gina, um, and we had a wonderful time chatting. And I went to another place, a spiritual store. I went to a couple of quote spiritual metaphysical stores, and I had some wonderful energy, from different individuals. We had a wonderful time. But with Miss Rose, what was really interesting is she's been through a lot, but one of the things both of us ended up with was what now? Like, as you're on a spiritual journey or spiritual quest, as you begin to deep dive into yourself. I mean, how many of us are just trying to learn to love ourselves? Miss Mother White, I see you. I see you. Miss Dolores from Detroit, thank you so much. I was about to be kind of disappointed because I didn't see you. You know, this is the community, and I'll be looking forward. Some of you people, I look forward to see. Miss Grace Jones, Mr. Parker, and Bianca. I can click on your picture all day. Mr. Parker. Yes, I have to give all the yes, yes. I love me. That is Miss Dolores, who is really dear friends with Mary Ann Williamson. One day we'll, after this campaign stuff, we'll have to get Mary Ann Williamson on the line. I need to reach back out to also Michael Beckwith. I ran into him not too long ago, so we could have some really wonderful talks. Y'all stick with me, because you know what, this is going to be wonderful. Mr. Scott Trotter, how are you doing today, sir? I'm so grateful. Hey, it's good to see you, sir. You guys make sure you're liking and sharing the post, because the thing is, this is about growth. This is about understanding. This is about us. It's not just about me. We're bringing everyone together, so that we can really raise the consciousness, the collectiveness of the consciousness. Miss Deidre, I see you. I see you. I see you. Look at that face. Ooh. I just love you people. You people still really bring the heart and life and the connection and the experience and the expression that I had with Bishop Pearson. We were doing something, and I'm carrying on. DE Polk is carrying on with the legacy, and I'm going to carry on Love and Light on Instagram, Miss from the Spirit and Love on IG. Mr. Frazier, Mr. King, I see you, sir. But we're going to carry on. So you guys stick with me, stick with this community, because we are already growing, but I don't want to just grow in numbers. I want to grow into our lives. I want to have some Joe Dispenza, if you ever hear him. I want to have some Joe Dispenza experiences where people are just connecting to the higher self, and they're connecting, and the science is proving that we have the ability to reimagine ourselves, revisit the authentic self, and bring forth the authenticity of who we are, right? And you know what? I believe the authenticity of who we are is even far greater. Ooh. Oh my gosh. The authenticity of who you are is far greater than you can imagine, right? On the other side of this thing, on the other side of this thing, man, I'm telling you, we're going to have like podcasts coming out, like other individuals, not just me. We're going to have people coming out producing stuff. We're going to have people that's recreating and making stuff, right? Businesses. We're going to have people healed, people set free, right? People being able to actually help others. That's what this community is about. This community is no longer about serving one person. The greatest thing, I'll promise you, I'll tell you right now, that Bishop Carlton Pearson wanted out of all this was he wanted to see everyone advance. He wanted to see people being able to move forward, people being able to rise up, people being able to see the God self, people being able to move into a place, right? And manifest something like never before. But a lot of us are left with what now? What now? I've let this go. I've moved away from a lot of the aspects of what I was told to believe. After meeting Miss Rose this past week, I think she's the first person I met, a Jehovah Witness, a former Jehovah Witness. Um, Last year, she lives in my city, and she told me about the in-depthness of how they look at the zip code. And then you get assigned to zip codes, and then you have to go to the zip codes and you work the zip codes, right? And I believe probably if Miss Hill would probably be able to, Miss Rose will be able to tell us that she may experience the same thing within Mormon, the Mormon faith, where you actually uh, she was actually a missionary. One day I'm gonna get her on. She was a missionary in the sense of being able to uh, go out, and really, it's not. We say it's bringing God, but we understand, fully understand, it is an organization, and that organization's design. A lot of these organizations are designed to grow the organizations. I have no problem with the fact that I just say this because I do have some problems, but it is what it is. And I'm not here to fight. I'm not here to preach or push or talk against anybody's faith. I'm talking about the people that are at what now? I'm talking about the people that are wanting to understand that we're expanding, right, in consciousness. But if you understand, I had an epiphany the other day, and the thing is if this is us and we have a consciousness that is expanding, right? We have a, if this is us and we have a consciousness that's expanding, right? If we have a consciousness that's expanding, let me tell you something. In when we understand the elements of the universe, and that the in the quantum field, like, and when I say the quantum field, think of it more or less like the God space, where infinite ideas exist, where things that we may not fully understand or can fully embrace, it is already finished or it's already done, right? So what I'm saying is, outside of this, it is expanded, right? It is already expanded. We're expanding, but God is expanded. Expanded. I had a conversation with somebody, Mr. Michael Williams, and he was like, well, if it's expanded, that means it's already expanded. We are expanding. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Wait a minute. And it was like, boom, it is expanded. It is already done. It is already finished. Absolutely. There you go. The quantum equaling. Look at that, Mr. Rubin. Come on now. The frequency vibration, it's expanding. If you know, we under some of we us understand the vibration, everything vibration, frequency, energy, right? That's Nikola Tesla. You wouldn't be able to have this conversation with me right now or hear me if it wasn't for the fact that we have this understanding. Electricity functions based on, and these communications based on energy, which is vibration, frequency, and vibration, right? We are operating in that. I do a lot of studying, I read a lot of books. A computer, desktop computer, can have 450 to 1,000 watts. That's the power supply that's in it. Electric cars, electric everything, right? They have power. Those powers are power sources, right? And that power source is an energy that allows it to come on. Your brain has 12 watts, has 12 watts of energy. And when you look at the spine and the chakra system, right? But if you look at the spine from the top of the head down to the sacrum, right? Everybody understands sexual energy in this room. What happens, understand, blessings, Mr. Malachi. What happens is we have energy in the lower root chakra and it comes up all the way up, throat, heart, in the gut, right? In the throat, yeah, the neck, and the pineal gland, right? It's that should be in the center, right? At the top of the crown. Those are energies. We can move that energy up and down, and that energy is what we would do and use in levels or states of meditation, practicing moving that energy as we get connected to a mindfulness state and bring ourselves, right? I want you, everyone right now, to bring themselves right now into a state of awareness, into a state into a state of connecting to the higher self. As I get a little music going, because I got something special here that I want to present to you, but I want you to be open, ready to receive. So, what we do is spirit means breath. Spirit means breath, to breathe, the pneuma, right? So what you do is you use the breath. We use the breath to connect. One of the greatest tools, one of the greatest resources, one of the greatest things that you have that is for your offering to yourself, learning to love yourself, is the mind, body, and spirit state of awareness, being able to connect, deep breaths. So as we go into this space, for you, but what I want you to do is I want you to begin to monitor and connect. Take deep breaths in, and then a deeper breath into the chest, and then release it. Sometimes you will hear people ohm. Ohms are resistors. Ohm is a OM. It's a frequency. It's used in technology. A resistor. Through the chakra system, those are resistors. Power from the brain. We're fluctuating the energy, moving the energy around, awakening the energy. Awaken the energy. I promise you, as we do this together, we will awaken the energy and things will begin to happen. Deep breaths. Hold it. Release. In your nose. Deep breath in your nose. Harness the energy, harness the power. Release it. And again, deep breath in, pulling all the energy in, letting everything go for this moment. This is your moment. This is your time for you to be able to connect, receive, release. We're going to discover what now. What now? As some of us would say, is what now, God? left this and I've left that and I don't do this, but I'm just here. And I've been searching and searching and I've been doing these things. But I still want to know what now. Breath in, release. Sounds a little. All right. Thank you so much. What we're going to do now is we're going to take a journey. And before I get going with this, I want you guys to see something. Instagram, I'll have to show you. I want you to see something. And what I want you to see is it has to do with tonight's topic. And it will hopefully help you. And I'll show you that right now.
Today, our topic is religious trauma and its effects into adulthood. For people who have gone through religious trauma, the after effects of that last long into adulthood. And for a lot of people, they don't realize the impact that a specifically hyper-religious or hyper-legalistic upbringing made on them until they get into adulthood. I'm going to go through a couple of ways that that might show itself in your life now, because if you're seeing some of these things, it might be time to look back and untangle some of those ideas that were taught to you as a child. Number one, fear. Not just what you fear, but also your relationship with fear. Typically, in most religious settings, we teach, especially children, to fear the authority figure that they are worshiping. So, for instance, if you are worshiping in a Christian church, you fear God, and you're taught that that fear actually means that you love God, because if you love something, you fear them, which somehow makes sense somewhere in some children's church Sunday school curriculum, I guess. But as you get older, if you continue to equate fear and love, that is going to lead to some very manipulative, very unbalanced relationships in your life. The idea that fear means love is backwards, it is manipulative, and it is harmful to you as an adult. Because if you fear the ones that you love, then you do not feel safe with them. If you don't feel safe with them, how thoroughly do you love them? And how thoroughly do you love yourself if you're allowing yourself to stay in relationship to people who you fear because you love them? That takes us directly into number two, which is manipulation. When we are in a especially legalistic religious culture, we are given to manipulation on a regular basis. A lot of that comes from the need to stay in control of the people that you are ministering to or the people that you are leading. You need to control them. And in order to control them, you need to convince them to not rely on their own understanding of themselves. I can remember singing a song that's based on a psalm that says, "Do not lean on your own understanding." And I was taught that because I am not able to trust anything that I understand or I know. I should always listen to those in charge of me. That's manipulation. Not being able to rely on anything that happens in your own head or your own heart
is a surefire way to keep you off balance
in order to make you listen to those in authority. Going that long without having any control in your life is going to make you want to grab control wherever you can. If you've always seen authority figures manipulate you, it is very likely that you give in to manipulation as an adult, because that's the only way you know to have control over things, because that's how you were controlled for so long. Number three is authority issues with authority figures in general, because either you assume that authority figures over you should always have control and always know what's going on. When they don't, that can be highly disappointing and highly disconcerting for you. Or you have no respect for authority figures. If you are somebody who left your legalistic upbringing, you're going to have a hard time with authority figures. Maybe you're somebody who's an authority over other people and you find it really hard to deal with them questioning the fact that you're in authority because you were always brought up to not question it. Those in authority get respect unconditionally. Well, that's not actually real life. That is the way that people in certain legalistic religious entities want you to behave so that they can continue to manipulate or control the people that are under them. When that plays out in your real life in either a fear of authority or a lack of understanding of your own authority in things, that can seriously impact the way that you relate to others. Another way this plays out is in self-worth issues. In many religions, it is discouraged for you to understand yourself to have any kind of worth outside of the worth that the entity you are worshiping gives you. And that makes a lot of sense in that realm. But for people who've either left religion or who have grown away from it, it starts to make a lot less sense. When it starts to make less sense, you are left with no understanding of who you are as a person. If you are only what this creator has created you to be, then you leave association with the creator, then who are you? Because no creator is going to make somebody who is going to leave them. So did that creator make you? All of these questions become this sort of chorus in your head at your lower times where you aren't able to figure out who you are. You've been told not to trust yourself. You've been frightened of authority, and you get to an age where it looks to you like everyone else has figured out who they are, and you're still wondering. This is also where purity culture comes into play. I hope that you have seen at least one of the purity culture videos that's on this channel. If not, please go check them out. The idea of purity culture, the very base idea, is about keeping people under control. When you convince someone that their worth is either in how they act towards the opposite sex or their worth is in how they dress and protect the opposite sex, when that's all you're taught you are worth, when you've stepped away from that or gotten married or realize you're not attracted to the opposite sex or realize you're not attracted to anybody, when those things happen, your understanding of worth is gone. Because what you measured it by isn't there anymore. So you look to others to define your worth. You look to the things you have. You look to your job. You look to things to define your worth that are still not internal because you were never taught how to find your worth internally. Many people who leave, especially legalistic religions, also talk about trust issues. Trust issues are very common because everything that you've known beforehand is called into question. And all of the people that you assume were meant to take care of you, who you thought cared about you, when they're not there anymore or not caring for you anymore, or you've made a choice to tell them who you are, or you've made a choice to walk away from them, and they're gone, then your trust issues are going to kick in. Those are going to play out in your most intimate relationships later in life if you don't start to deal with them. The reason that happens is because you have discovered one of the things that many people trip over their entire lives, which is that the idea of trust and trustworthiness is founded on the wrong principles. Being a trustworthy person actually can just come from you being a person. Here's the problem with trust. If I put my trust in you and you betray that trust, I stop trusting people sometimes. That's problematic because you betraying my trust has nothing to do with me. That doesn't mean I trusted the wrong person. It doesn't mean that I believed the wrong things. I was true to who I am and I trusted someone. If someone else breaks that trust, that's not a fault in me. That's a fault in the other person. I have nothing to be ashamed of for trusting someone. Someone else may have something to be ashamed of for betraying that trust. Or how about this one? We're all on our own journeys, and where they were at that point in time made whatever they did make sense to them. Either way, not my problem. So trust issues largely are in the misplaced understanding of what trust really means and what it means for us to trust people. But you know what? A lot of that comes from religious organizations who tell us to trust only God because God is the only good and true thing in the world. Well, that means we should only trust good things. So do we not trust each other then? We don't trust ourselves. We've already accomplished that. The idea that you can't trust anything makes you isolated. It stops you from building connections with other people, which will make you lonely. Maybe you've recognized yourself in some of these and you're wondering, okay, so what do I do now? What you do now is start reminding yourself that who you are and what you are doing is actually good enough. It's okay to struggle. That does not make you bad or weak or whatever it is that your religion has told you for so many years struggling makes you. Once you stop shaming yourself for exhibiting these things, then you can start to forgive yourself for holding on to those things, because I know that if you're shaming yourself, you're also mad at yourself at some point for keeping those things there in your life. Well, stop it. There's no reason to be mad at yourself for taking your own time to heal. So take your time to heal. Be honest with yourself, be honest with those around you about your path. Take your time. If you find that this is too much to untangle, I would very much advocate for you to seek out a counselor who can help you work through some of this stuff. It's not your fault that you're in the place you are. Once you realize where you are, you get to make choices and you get to take steps to help yourself out when you're ready. That's it for today. Thank you so much for being here.
Woo! I had to show that because of the fact that so many people are moved on or want to move on, but don't realize that you can't move on because you might be stuck. As a life coach, one of the things that I do a lot of work with, this is bugging me, is the fact that people might be stuck. If you don't know that you're stuck, right? What happens is you could be dealing with what Mr. Rubin says right there is trauma. And I'm going to tell you this, every last one of us dealt with some level of trauma. Every last one of us. Some of the things that highlights, I need to get to my notes, but I have to highlight this. Everyone is on their own journey. Even within this community, we are all on our own journey. But as a community, what I like to embrace is the fact that it's okay that you're on your own journey. And the fact that there's probably some forgiveness that needs to happen in discovering who you are. So in order to figure out what is next, how are you going to move on? How do you move forward? We might have to do some digging. We got to do some digging. We got to do some checking on the self. As I go into this, I pull my notes up here. So you may have a few comments. I'll try to keep it over here so I can see some of your comments. I can't see myself, but as we come together today, I want to first acknowledge, right, the complexity, the vastness of spirit, the spiritual journey that has shaped us by the richness and the tapestry of the beliefs that have been woven into our lives and in this society. Born into a nation, if you will, proudly dubbed as Christian, we cherish the freedoms that grant us the right to worship as we choose. Yet, beneath this veneer of tolerance lies a stark reality, guys. Diverging from the mainstream often led to being ostracized or persecuted. When they come back and they say, you're persecuting us because you are saying you don't want to be with us. But tonight, I want to urge you guys that we transcend these diverse narratives, that this is not just a discourse on abandoning our faith or conforming to societal expectations, but instead it's called introspection, right? A journey of self-discovery for those who dare to question the very foundation of their beliefs. Anybody do that? Has anyone done that? Where you question the foundation of your beliefs? It's hard to do sometimes. Why do you believe what you believe? And as Bishop Carlton Pearson would say, is to question those beliefs and then to ask, how do those beliefs add to or subtract to the value or the quality of your life. It's a question that reverberates through the corridors of consciousness, challenging us to examine the source of spiritual convictions. For what we believe spiritually has profound implications on every facet of our lives. So, you've chosen to embark on the journey of faith deconstruction, bravely confronting the uncomfortable truths that lie beneath the surface, opening Pandora's box of your soul, of yourself. Do you realize or understand that what you are embarking on, or what you are breaking through, or what you are shaking is the very foundation of an ancestry? You are breaking the foundation. God, and you beating down the foundation within a nation that has been layered and layered and layered upon for centuries. I always ask the question, whatever happened to that God that enslaved people? And you gave those people a book, and you told those people, obey your master. And then when they didn't, you beat them, whooped them, killed them. Whatever happened to that God? What changed? What expanded? What consciousness expanded? Did you know people had to die because the consciousness was not there? So, what you are embarking on when it comes to the foundation of what I'm talking about, and the fact that you can have trauma and you can have shame and you can not feel like who you are. They tell us all the time to give glory to God, and it always comes from the pulpit. When the church and the pastor and the people in those positions and these high spiritual positions say give glory to God, when really you're just giving glory to them. You really just giving glory to the building. You really giving glory to their organization. When it's okay to give glory to yourself. You're embarking on the journey of faith deconstruction, which is bravely confronting the uncomfortable truths that lies beneath the surface. You've dared to ask whether your faith truly aligns with spiritual connection that you seek. And yet, in a society where the dissenting voices are often silenced, right? Your quest for truth is met with skepticism and resistance. I'm taught on skepticism. And it's okay that you have levels of skepticism. That's how we arrived to where we are. But when you begin to be skeptical of this foundation, you begin to break history. You begin to break the foundation of consciousness that is shaking. So therefore, you are doing something so big for this world. The truth is that the religious landscape, specifically of America, it is diverse, just as it is divisive. Many feel adrift within their communities, always have, yearning for belonging, yet unable to reconcile their doubts with dogma that they've been taught. And when you dare to forge your own path, they're met with hostility and condemnation. Bishop, but tonight, y'all, let us turn our gaze inward. Let's look inward. acknowledging the scars left by religion and trauma. It's a phenomenon that's all too real. This thing will manifest stress, even PTSD. Do we internalize the trauma, shaming ourselves, or for daring to ask the questions and to question the status quo? Do we live in fear of damnation, unable to break free from the shackles of our limited beliefs? And if you are listening to me tonight, you are one that is breaking free from the shackles of limited beliefs, because this is expanded consciousness, right? My institute, but it's unlocking the potential beyond your belief. And so, as we delve into the depths of our consciousness, y'all, let us confront the shadows cast by Western Christianity. And I specifically say Western Christianity because I want you to study, or I want you to understand that there is still other connections to the largest religion in the world. As my dear friend, Archbishop, who is an Eastern Christian Orthodox bishop, who I will have on the show, but Western Christianity and the narrow confines of organized religion, that's the shadow that we're being casted upon. But let us explore the realm of spirituality, transcending even those people that when we start talking about crystals and yoga, I'm good. I want to uncover the true essence of the connection of love. Because sometimes, even when we start thinking Eastern, right, and we start thinking about spirituality, as I visited a store this past week, and it's supposedly the largest metaphysical bookstore in the nation here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's very big. I discovered a young man that was not raised as, of course, the Christian in America, which pretty much we all are. We all go through it because it's part of this country. But he was a clerk, he was helping. But the thing is what I realized, even for those who break away, I asked this young man, when people come to this metaphysical store who has the occult, theocracy society, Buddhism, Christianity, Gnosticism, right? Self help, personal development, the occult. But what he said was a lot of people leave the church and they come in, specifically, I would say, in the Bible Belt places, and they turn towards mostly witchcraft or the study of it, which is not what most people think. But a lot of people, when they go through something, they will turn completely a 180 and be the same thing that they were, or the same thing that they represented, or what is represented specifically in the hardcore conversion based Christian faiths. That means people that are really, really, really wanting to convert people to what they are. A lot of times they would turn and they'll turn to Wiccan, or they'll turn to atheism, or they'll turn to something, and they become just as radical in that, even inclusion. And the thing is, how do we define and how do we be radically love? How do we delve into the depths of consciousness, as I was saying, and confront the shadows? Life Life is more than rituals, y'all, and the dogma. It's a journey of self discovery. It's an exploration of the mysteries that lie beneath the veil of perceptions, of our own perceptions. How do we perceive things? As we navigate the vast expanse of existence, as we expand our consciousness, let us do one thing. Let us embrace the divinity within us. Let us cultivate a community grounded in love and compassion. If anything, having compassion, having love, understanding that we may be carrying some shame and guilt, and it's okay. So, my friends, when we are faced with the question, what now? You can also see that as, now what? You know what? You want to respond? Let's respond with yes. Yes to retreats. Yes to meditation. Yes to personal growth. Yes to personal development. Yes to a therapist. Yes to understanding I might need to forgive myself. Yes to I need to learn how to love myself. Yes to speaking our truth. Yes to coaching others on their journey. And above all, loving absolute, loving yourself, coming to understand what that means, asking the question, what does it mean to love myself? Saying yes aligns ourselves with the flow of the universe, manifesting and our deepest desires, our deepest aspirations. Let us dream, y'all, to envision a world where love reigns supreme and humanity embraces our divine potential. We are connecting more than ever. Hear me out. We are connecting more than ever. And if you're listening to this call, if you're listening to this, if you're hearing me out, know that I believe that you are called to be and to break the foundations that has brought us to this moment. 500 years ago, it was likely that they would burn women, specifically witches, but they would burn them at the stake. It wasn't long before that, although it was, but they still would kill people that would question science. Now, when we bring into question our own divinity, when we ask and we say, you know what, I'm no longer going to be, or I no longer want to do what y'all been doing. I am ready to move forward into my own divinity. But what I'm here to let you know, if you ask in the question, what now? It's good. That means breakthrough is happening. Anytime you begin to feel like something's not there, understand that it's around the corner. And as I'm preaching and talking to y'all, that's what it sounds like, pontificating, as Bishop would say. I'm doing it to myself, for myself. Understand? I'm doing it for myself, just as I'm doing it with you. We're going to forgive ourselves. And you may have some some guilt and shame that you just don't know. But I'm here to tell you that it's part of the journey, and your spiritual journey, it is yours. But also, your spiritual journey is a breakthrough for the world. As we come into ourselves, as we find ourselves, as we connect to our higher selves, we are also busting through, expanding the consciousness for all. Mm. I feel and I connect to the presence of everyone that's in this space. And I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. Mm. Mm. Sometimes you have to be at peace and be at rest. And a lot of times, what I do is I tell people, feel how you want to feel. If you ask them that question, what now? Say yes. If you're asking that question, what now? Dig deeper. Dig deeper. If you ask that question, what now? It's around the corner. I promise you. What you desire, what you want, and what wants you is right around the corner. Right around the corner. Don't give up. Don't give in. Because it's here and it's now. Mr. Rubin, we are free, not trying to be free. That is a mindset. Come on, brother. Y'all look at this. Y'all look at this. See, this is the community, right? The community is all powerful in ourselves. It's the collective consciousness. We are free, not trying to be free. That mindset assists us in digging through the shame, guilt, etc. Miss Marie, yes, I am right, closer than I think. What I want me. Miss Carolyn says yes, and so it is. All right, all right. I love it. I love it. I love it. Mr. Christopher, I've been asking this question for a while. I'm telling you, brother. I'm telling you right now. If you're tapped in and tuned in, now all we got to do is turn on. And I'm telling you, be bold, be brave. And it's not that you got to tell somebody off, but you might have to live your truth, or you might have to do something for you, right? Whatever that may be. Ultimately, loving yourself. A lot of times we get self-love confused with self-care. And I think it can go hand in hand, but self-love also can mean doing the things you don't want to do, right? Self-love can be like, I know I don't need to be drinking soda all the time, but I drink the soda knowing that it's hurting me or it's not good for me. Or I'm diabetic, people can be diabetic and they still drinking, eating sugar and drinking soda. And it's like part of self love is saying, oh, I need to stop doing that, even though it makes me feel good. I gotta love myself. And a big one is setting boundaries. setting boundaries and 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 knowing that, you know what, I talk about saying yes, but sometimes you need to say no. I want to kill this gnat that's moving around in my face. Sometimes we want to say no. I'm not doing that. I'm tired of you doing that to me. And sometimes you got to do that to family. You know, I was asked to go to an Easter program, and it's cool. But for some reason, and it's cool. Like, I have no problem with it, you know. But for some reason, I'm just not interested. Plain and simple. Just not interested at all. Because I'll probably go there and I'll sit and it's like, oh, this is cool. This is cool. But then it'd be like, oh, here we go. I can see myself. I'm going there and I'm sitting there. I'm going through this Easter program and it's like, everything's cool. It's transformation. Everything's cool. But then it's like, sooner or later, I'm telling you, it's like, I know I'll hit this wall and like, wow, this is God and this is spirit and this is people finding their higher self. This is people unlocking their potential. This is people connecting to something that did like, oh God, no, I'm good, bro. I'm sorry, but I'm good. You could go. I got a video, guys. I'll tell you real quick. I got a video and it talked about what Easter really means. And come to find out, it was from a pastor. Easter, I think it's like Astar, but Easter is based on something that's pagan, but so is Christmas. And I'm like, this came from a pastor. We all fully know that Easter, the bunny, the egg, all that comes from something that has nothing to do with Jesus. Christmas too. But yet though, we go along with it. Okay. Okay. Yes, I believe it's marketing. But it's marketing, but also what's sad is that we get told the story of Jesus, and it's not even necessarily the story of Jesus. Heck, I done got to the point where I know Jesus isn't really Jesus. Like his name would be Yeshua. I read the other day that Hebrew, Aramaic, Latin, and then it's translated into 17th century English. Like, no, it's pointless in even me having a conversation to argue something about that book, specifically the King James. It's just it's pointless. I mean, it's pointless. I can still love elements, principles, but once you begin to define yourself and understand for who you are, once you begin to understand that there is a higher calling up on the planet and we can connect to another realm, if you will, we can connect to a whole nother realm. So when you are limited within the box, I heard this the other day. Can you imagine a box? And that box has all of your thoughts in that box, and everything that is in your mind is in that box. And you could see that box, and you could see through that box all your thoughts. But that box with all your thoughts is in a warehouse. And you're seeing your thoughts in the warehouse in the box. But then you're backing out of the warehouse with the door open. And you see the warehouse with the box that's with your thoughts. Now you're moving into the quantum realm. Now you're moving back and you're able to see the possibilities. You're able to see and understand that you're outside the box and you're outside the box that's containing the box. That's a warehouse. And if you think even on this planet, outside this warehouse, you back up from the planet, you see the planet. Where are you? What if you back up from the space, the galaxy, right? We're going into a whole nother understanding of the possibilities and understanding of what is taking place. Last thing I'm going to end with you is I'm going to tell you, do you understand? Hey, Instagram. Do you understand this? Understand this. Who you are today is also who you are in the greatness of everything that you desire and beyond. Unlocking your potential beyond your beliefs, understanding that who you believe you are, or desire to be, rather, who you truly desire to be is you. It's you. It might be a whole nother level of you, but it's you. It is you. And you have everything you need within you. We just have to sift, see it, let go, and be. Be the higher self. Be connected. Understand? I see us now today. I see us connecting. I see people moving into different spaces. I think a lot of us need to let go and allow. I think a lot of us need to push forward. I think a lot of us need to dream bigger. And as you dreaming bigger, begin to act as though who you see or what you see, like it's finished, like it's done. Absolutely, Mr. McNary. Absolutely. Being afraid is a part of being human, but to ask yourself, what am I afraid of, is okay. To write down what you feel that you might be afraid of, write it down, resonate with it, let it resonate with you. You know, sometimes what you do is you want to see it, feel it, because then it can reveal itself. You know, it could reveal itself and be like, oh, I'm afraid because grandma said, I'm afraid because daddy used to always say, and that's the reason why I'm afraid. Oh, so I'm seeing it, I'm embracing it, and now I'm having transformation. And in that transformation, one of the things I'll tell you 100%, you got to begin to not just have a vision of what it is, but you got to begin to act upon what it is. You got to begin to press upon what it is. You got to begin to see it and live it, even if you're living it small. And one of the things I say for sure, I just so believe in meditation. I believe it is one of the foundations. It is the foundation. Hear me out. It is the foundation, and it always has been for many years. And now the science is matching what the Buddhist monks have said all along. And it allows for what you have in your brain. Consciousness is not just in the brain. They can't prove it. Memories, right? Functions, how things function. We've got that. But consciousness, that's the reason why AI can't do what it's doing. Someone on Instagram talks about uh, journaling. I believe 100% journaling is a a part of the prescription that allows you to witness your thoughts as they come out into the reality. I used to tell people all the time that before a phone, iPhone specifically, before it was created, it had to be thought of. But after it was thought of, it had to be brought down to some level into this existence. And typically that would come through paper, right? And and then once you're able to share it to paper, you're able to share it to other individuals. And those individuals can actually possibly help you, right? As they have an understanding of bringing this thing or bringing this idea or bringing it to this realm, reality, as they say, this reality, this realm, this dimension. Hmm. Before we go, I would like for everyone to have the ability to, connect to the breath, feeling where you are, feeling the space that you're in, and connecting to your body and being aware of the self. And as you do this, understand this is now, and now is good for this moment. And as you do this, you can reach levels of relaxation, which is the tenseness in your body, the tenseness within your body. And as you connect to the being tense, that means you're squeezing all your muscles, and then you let go. And you squeeze your muscles, breathing in, and you squeeze all your muscles, squeezing them, and then you let go. What you're doing is you're connecting to this present moment, you're connecting to your mind, but you're also connecting to the spirit, because the spirit is telling the body and the mind what it feels like to be tense and let go. Healing is the greatest thing that can take place. Healing is the greatest thing that can take place. Letting go and seeing things move forward. You guys are the greatest. I look forward every week to being able to connect and being able to do this, being able to connect to you guys, being able to speak. You know, I really enjoy it, and I hope you also enjoy it. This is fun. Um, I am actually doing everything within my power, if you will, uh, to build out an online community. And this online community is going to be fun. It's going to be interactive. There's going to be things that I have that are not only just courses, and some free, but communities within the community. And I have a lot of people that not just want coaching, but a lot of time people may want to uh, do a podcast, or people may want to, I don't know, start a business. Like there's all kinds of different things that you want, but within the expanded consciousness community, what I really, really desire is that we can we can be together, and the community is an active place that you know that the spirit resides, that resonates with you, and it allows you to grow, it allows you to become. And as you go through things, as you go through things, you don't feel alone. Because one of the things that I know, having a community, especially when we used to go to church, I remember going to church, and if I look at some of the best things that happened to me when I was in church as my spiritual community, the thing that I connected to spirit more than anything growing up would probably be all the kids that became friends when we got to go outside and got to play, and we got to, right? Most of the thing that I remember in the experience expression of church, being a musician, was playing music, was fun. It was everything. But then after church, being able to connect to friends and being able to eat with the friends, you know, having that community. It's wonderful to have community, guys. It really is. And so one of the things I want to also say is I appreciate you guys as I see you guys connecting, especially my people that has been connected to me for a while. When you guys are communicating with other people on here, and I believe Miss Marie is in Tennessee, but there was someone else that was on last week that was from Tennessee. So if you know, if like you see someone, you see their profile, just know that you could see their profile and you can see how they are. I see Miss Marie talk about having a safe place, but being able to possibly go to have coffee, or possibly being able to connect to someone that's on here, like, you can do that. You can connect to each other, right? And be able to understand each other. So, Miss Dolores, I appreciate you. For now, if you want to, divineauthenticself.com. That is just a place that allows for have something, because the Divine Authentic Self is going to be hosted into the Expanded Conscious Institute community. That's going to be something that I offer. There's other offerings, things are going to be in there, but this is a community that has all different things inside the community, not just one thing. There's a lot of different things. That right there puts you on the email list. Something I really was pushing to get going, and I'm pushing hard now because I'm doing a lot of things where I'm moving a lot of things in my business and moving it a lot to this, right? Because this is where my heart is. This is 100% where my heart is. And I know 100% there's a lot of transformations, there's a lot of breakthroughs, there's a lot of ideas and businesses, there's a lot of manifestations that needs to happen, right? There's a lot of growth that needs to happen, there's a lot of healing that needs to happen, right? And as we build and we grow together, I really know and I really believe and I really can see greatness. I can really see greatness. I forgot to put my little banner up. It's the wrong one. Look, this is called StreamYard. If you ever get a chance, you want to see what it is. It's called StreamYard, and it's just little software that gives you the ability to have functions and have things like this, right? Instagram, you guys don't get to see it as much. I can put it on there. I just don't like that function just right at this moment. But I appreciate you guys so much. I love you. And I look forward to speaking to you again next week. And if you guys have anything as far as like you would like to hear that you're working through, that you're dealing with, you can DM message me on Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram. You can message me. And those topics, I will actually put those to thought. And hopefully you could get something out of it, right? I believe and hope and that you guys got something out of today. Woo! Deep breaths. Huh. Finding the center of yourself, finding the center. And I'm going to, whenever the school starts, I'm going to also give people opportunity. And I'll look for those who have already given, and those people will most likely have intro into this community if you've already given. So what I'm going to do also is this here is the Cash App. Don't want to forget it. I'm not afraid to put it up there because I'm building something that is going to serve us. And if you do this, whenever I release any of this, the people that have already given, I will have something worked out so that you will have access to the community. It's not all going to be, it's going to be paid and unpaid. I'm going to have it available. There's going to be some opportunities where individuals that can't afford it will have the ability to be scholarshiped, that sort of thing, into community. And so I won't have it where every person just has to pay. We'll have some things available because I know that not everyone has that ability, but I still believe that for the level of getting into the community and working within it, everyone will have the opportunity, no matter what, to be a part And Venmo, get a Venmo. Venmo is the same thing, just with the dash and an @ sign. At Malachi-Gross. And what my plans are is to build this thing up so that we can all work together. We can all work together and begin to all help other people. Those who would like to be a part can help people. Yes. Maybe have some understanding and knowledge on doing some coaching yourselves, doing some mentoring, and doing it in a way that helps people grow. That right there is the Cash App at $ Malachi Gross. That's the Cash App. The Venmo at Malachi. And Divine Authentic Self is the current place to go sign up, right? And you can learn more, and I promise I'll get some things out. I'm gonna work on this really hardcore so I can have it. PayPal is the same thing. It should be my email address, malachigross@me.com. All right, I'll put that in there. If someone, and I think it might, I have to ask my web developer if that is on my website, info at Malachi Group. I'll make sure Hashib gets that on the the website. PayPal, malachigross@me.com. That'll get you to PayPal. Thank you, sir. Really appreciate it beyond what you can imagine. I look forward to this every week. Every week. That was the PayPal. Cash App. I need to make that note on there. And Venmo. As they used to say, all minds clear. Talk about drama. Talk about purity culture. Oh, you are welcome, Mother. That's Mother White. Here, Instagram. Y'all need to see who Mother White is. Mother White has been following Bishop, and she goes to All Souls. She's been following Bishop for many, many years. Many years. And I love seeing you. I haven't seen you in a while, so we'll have to get together. I need to see you. It'd be beautiful to see you. That's Mother White. Yeah, thank you guys. I love it whenever I see you communicate. You know, one of the things I will say before I go is it's such a beautiful thing to see people that have experience on the earth. I don't really like to say age, because of the fact that we can extend life just by merely not putting so much into the aging process. But those who have had experience on the earth and how they are able to connect to this message, able to really begin to see themselves And I know that sometimes we hit certain time frames on the earth and we feel like either we don't have much time or we feel like our time is past to do something. And I'm here to say it's not. I'm here to say we still need you to do something. We still need the stories. We still need the expression from people. Bishop was 70, pushing. He spent the last 15 years doing this show, or doing his show, rather. So, Miss Dolores, Miss Pierre, Mr. Pierre, Miss Velma, thank you, sir, for tapping in, tuning in. Miss Deidre, thank you guys so much for tapping in and tuning in. Thank you guys so much. Woo! Now, I appreciate it. Have a good one.